climb the ladder 15% of the time at that rise, as well as go downstairs. But it's going to come down to just commanding the zone, right? And I feel like I can say this, the strike zone, in my opinion, this year has been a lot tighter, a lot harder for pitchers. You've heard coaches talk a lot about it. Almost every single coach talked about it in our player interviews, but you just got to continue to keep trucking on. It's the same thing for everyone else. The ones that can deal with that the best and be able to break pitches at times through the zone.
Full count here. Jessica Clemens, the leadoff hitter for UCLA. Towards left. And Alexis Sams is there. A good rebound from Malaya Johnson, who got behind to that first batter.
You can't say enough when you go through a conference tournament and you lose game 1 right out of the jump, and then you have to continue to keep battling and play 6 elimination games, and she pitched in 6 out of those 7. She was a dog, and I think those are the moments that you need to remember when you're going up against UCLA and not being intimidated by who you're playing.
Savannah Pola liked the first pitch, rolls it back to the wall. Pola's gonna take 2. Stand-up double for Savvy Pola.
First pitch swinging for Savvy Pola, and it's a doozy. Up in the zone, but she's just able to pull it for Jazzy Santos' head right to the wall. An absolute liner.
That's her 18th double of the season. That does lead this UCLA team. And danger, danger. Jordan Woolry now at the plate with a runner in scoring position. First pitch lifting it. It's going to be shallow and into the glove of Giselle Mejia. Runner does advance to third. So you get Woolry on the first pitch, but she does move the runner, and then you got to face Megan Grant.
Yeah. But if I'm Malaya, I mean, I'm fully aware that the last 2 hitters have swung first pitch. Malaya, excuse me, swinging first pitch in the count you're seeing from the past 2 hitters. So those are just little notes that you take in the back of your head as a pitcher to just be more aware of, all right, they're swinging early on me. I can potentially spread the zone a little bit.
Megan Grant takes that first pitch. She is hitting .491 with runners in scoring position. Change piece. So now Malaya Johnson ahead 0-2. We've seen that come out a couple of times for strikes now.
And that's going to be the difference maker when you're going up against a tough offense that has the power, has the speed. You want to be able to change speeds. She's establishing that right out of the gate. Good pitch. Good 0-2 pitch.
Megan Grant, her comparison from last year to this year, numbers up. Fouls that one off. You know, for this UCLA team, hitting's been ahead of pitching all season, but I love the approach that UCLA has taken. I mean, they have a true staff. 3 pitchers have over 100 innings pitched, including Taylor Tinsley, who we're watching get the start today.
And I think that was the plan before the season even kicked off. Knowing the importance, but more so how uniquely different all 3 are, right? Taylor Tinsley is more of a changeup specialist, can climb the ladder for sure, and then you have KT who comes from the left side and just has that swagger about herself, and then the freshman Addison Fisher and that drop ball and the vertical break she gets.
Acosta, foul. over the fence, but foul. Yeah, Addison Fisher, the big addition this year. She was the #1 player in the nation, the #1 recruit in the nation by several outlets, and the National Gatorade Player of the Year last year.
And I will say something I noticed about UCLA is a lot of times their freshmen get to play and make an impact right out of the gate, and that's something that always stands out to me.
Got her to swing at it, and Acosta will take a seat as Taylor Tinsley gets her first strikeout of the afternoon.
Her first strikeout, but it ends up coming on the first changeup that she has thrown, just down and dirty. And when you have not seen it, it's tough. And you can tell you got to tip your cap when you're walking to the dugout. First changeup thrown out of 17 pitches.
Alexa Sams rolls it out to left, and that's the first hit of the game for UC Santa Barbara.
And Sams has been so good, 400 hitter in her last 15 games. This pitch down and away does a really good job of just poking it right through the 5-6 hole, stays on plane with it. It's a solid piece of hitting, swinging early in the count.
She's now got a hit in 9 of her last 10 games, brings us to the third baseman, Bella Fuentes. That one hops away from Jordan Woolry. Bragg tries to make the toss, and just like that, bang, bang, 2 aboard, and a little shrug from Bella Fuentes. She'll take it.
Well, this just comes down to the defense, right? You have to make this play. Jordan Woolry knows you have to make this play. The ball just kind of pops up on her and isn't able to field it cleanly, and some action on the base pass here for UCSB.
And now Dima Ai, the catcher, a true freshman who has stepped into a big role with this group. That will be ruled an error, so an E5 allows Bella Fuentes to reach. A single and an error have 2 on for Santa Barbara. Mai going deep, bounced it off the wall. Here come the Gauchos. Sprinting home, sliding in is Sams.
Dima Ai, so clutch. Let's go. The smile on her face yesterday when we got the chance to talk to her, this is a hit she's going to remember forever. First one in the postseason is a big one. The first run up on the board. Let's go.
Santa Barbara has not been in the tournament since 2007. Doesn't matter, they came ready to play. The RBI single for Mai brings us to the designated player in the 8th spot, Ainsley Waddell.
And I think it's some just mommy hacks. You're seeing them like zero fear. Like they're swinging very early in the count, knowing that even Coach Kelly Inouye Perez said, I want my pitchers to be able to get ahead early in counts. At times, that's why she calls pitches. She knows the importance of that. And on the flip side, as a hitter, a lot more success when you're swinging early instead of finding yourself constantly playing catch up.
Yeah, and usually you mentioned it, Kelly Inouye Perez calls the pitches, except she likes Alexis Ramirez, who's behind the plate, to call for Taylor Tinsley. So they've been doing that to start this game. Tinsley ahead 0-2. Woolry ready for that one at the hot corner. But 2 runners in scoring position now for UCSB. Brings us to Aaron Mendoza, who's one of the leaders and on a 3-game hit streak, the center fielder. First pitch strike coming in from Tinsley.
Well, and you're seeing the defense in, even though there's 2 outs, it's respecting Aaron Mendoza and just her slap and short game and triple threat mentality, knowing the importance of the speed and the pressure that puts on. That's why you're seeing the defense a lot more in. Usually when you have 2 outs, you're like, hey, it doesn't matter, right? Like if I roll a ground ball, then I'm going to be able to get someone out. But defense weigh in.
0-2 here to Mendoza. Mendoza gets a little piece, Pola all over it, and she's got a staff of Bubba Nichols and Will Oldham that have been executing the plans that she's putting together, and that's really helped the Bruins numbers take a big leap this year.
And Bubba Nichols being able to kind of be in the dugout and have those conversations with those athletes, I think is extremely important. Coach Kelly Inouye-Perez just talks so highly about her and just the connection piece, right? Like, you can be great at hitting, but if you're not able to teach it and connect and be able to explain things on a level that the athlete's going to be able to pick up what you're putting down, then it's not going to work. And that's why she wanted her back in the dugout. She was originally coaching first base a little bit.
Well, this is Alexis Ramirez, the catcher up. They call her lefty. And Bubba Nichols, I mean, what a resume. Has a silver medal back at home, was on that Tokyo team, an All-American at UCLA. 2-2 here to Ramirez.
It's a unique combo having a lefty catcher but a righty hitter. Just wanted to let you know that.
Yeah, that's right. She catches lefty. You might think, like, why do they call her lefty? She's batting from the right side. Great point, Danielle.
But like I said, I had a left-handed catcher in college, and I loved it because I felt like it gave me more confidence throwing in on the hands of left-handed hitters because she was able to frame it because she's catching it from the left side. So I loved it.
And Ramirez coming back. We only saw her for 5 games last year. She had a knee injury and came back around March. And what a get for UCLA to have her back. This one just past the glove of Johnson, rolls out to the grass, and take your base, lefty. Second hit today for UCLA.
That's a good leadoff AB by lefty. 2-2 count. She's swinging, pitch on the outside part of the plate. She takes it right back up the middle. You love the response after giving up a run in the top of the second inning to come back and kind of have your pitchers back. That really is what stands out to me.
And so she'll be lifted for a pinch runner, obviously, because she's the catcher. So Lauren Hatch comes in to run for her. Brings us to a freshman in Riley Slim. Plays in left field. Remember the All-Big Ten freshman team. She was the #8 overall recruit. This is the top recruiting class in the nation, this freshman class for UCLA. She's had a hit in 7 of her last 8 games, hitting .522 during that time. Runner going. Hatch trying to get down. She is safe. Tag not there. It's the 37th stolen base of the season for UCLA. Malaya Johnson sneaks in that change.
You're seeing a little bit of a trend when she's gotten behind in counts. That's the pitch that she knows she can rely on and go to. I've seen her do it a couple times throughout this game. 2-0, go with the change to get back in it.
Back at Johnson, rolls to Santos. In time, but Hatch over to third now. UCLA left a runner on third in the first inning. Kelly Inouye-Perez, her 19th season. She's made 10 Women's College World Series appearances as a head coach, won 2 championships as a head coach, but of course, also was a player at UCLA. The only head coach to win a championship as a player and a head coach. Bragg, the freshman shortstop, up at the plate.
Maya Bragg actually had a big home run off Jordy Ball in that Big Ten tournament. Went back and watched that game. I only say that because, you know, Jordy Ball, Big Ten player and pitcher of the year.
hit a home run today.
Which put her at the 4th player all time to have 20 home runs and 20 victories as a pitcher, which is pretty incredible.
Of course, Jordy Ball won a couple of national championships at Oklahoma, then wanted to go home. Transferred back to Nebraska, was injured last year, but back and thriving. Ball and 2 strikes to Bragg. High hopper, Banks trying to check the runner, in trouble. Gotten a rundown. And the diving tag applied by Taya Banks, the shortstop. Keeps Santa Barbara in the lead. It's a 6-5-2-6.
This is just such a perfectly executed rundown. I would have liked them to close the gap a little bit to just eliminate too many throws, but Dima I realizes, hey, I got her, but not able to get the throw off, and then just the layout by Fuentes.
So Kanaya Bragg at second, reaching on a fielder's choice, advancing to second. A little surprised to see this name in the lineup today. Taylor Stevens in the 8th spot as the DP, making just her 8th appearance of the season. She's a senior.
I can understand the frustration. I like that screwball. Want to be able to establish the inner half on the hitters. I do think that the zones at times are so tight where when you throw in, even when a hitter may be on the dish, you still need to be able to get the inside part of the plate.
Doesn't get anything to swing at. She will take her base. First walk issued by Malaya Johnson. Well, the Women's College World Series returns to Oklahoma City. The action begins Thursday, May 29th at noon Eastern, live on ESPN. For more information on the 2025 Women's College World Series, go to NCAA.com, the official online home for all 90 NCAA championships. Of course, UCLA knows what it's like more than any other program to get to the World Series. 32 Women's College World Series appearances.
Wow.
Not appearances just in the tournament. Going to the Women's College World Series. Bottom of the order, Caitlin Terry, who was one of the main arms last year in the circle, is now a two-way player for the Bruins in her sophomore season. Also plays some right field when she's not pitching.
And I think last year, just Taylor Tinsley and Caitlin Terry were really the workhorses, but both battled different injuries throughout the season. So at times it was hard for her to probably get the opportunity to be that two-way player, and they needed her so much in the circle.
Facing Taylor Tinsley. First pitch lifted. Oh, and coming in is Jessica Clements. Stevens was just moved over to right field and immediately tested. Clements, the transfer from Cal Poly, will take it.
Those, I feel like you always kind of hold your breath. I feel like we got the best view in the house. Glad no one got hurt, but substitution this inning for Stevens. And
first pitch rolls to Pola, and Mejia is retired.
But looking at the first time through the lineup, I mean, UCSB, there was one swing and a miss. One out of all the pitches that have been thrown. And when you think about someone like Taylor Tinsley with that changeup and that rise ball and that curve, she's a pitcher that gets those swings and misses. So I think that's something that impresses me about their offense. Not being fooled by those pitches. You're seeing them put together good, for the most part, decent lengthy at-bats, but trying to barrel stuff up.
Now, before that last pitch, she had thrown 12 straight strikes. Bragg flashing the leather. 3 up, 3 to clock is run out. Top of the order for UCLA, Jessica Clements. UC Santa Barbara took the lead in the second inning, an RBI single from Dima I. UCLA has left 3 on base tonight. How do you feel like Malaya Johnson's settling in?
I think Johnson's been great, honestly. I think she's still trying to kind of figure out, are there certain pitches she can get for a strike that I do think that she should be getting for a strike, but establishing that changeup, decent split, and composed. I think that's the one thing that I see with her, and being that experienced vet and that junior, she just has that calm demeanor, which you appreciate in this type of tournament, right? You follow the way that your pitcher goes, the energy that they kind of give you out there.
Clements lifts it to right. And Jazzy Santos sprinting over from second. She made that catch. There's out number 1. Well, and I think, too, she told us yesterday, Malaya Johnson, she understands her strengths and her best pitches a lot better now in her junior season. She's trusting herself out there. That makes a big difference, I would imagine.
It really does. And something that I even asked her, like, when pitches are being called, do you feel in your gut when you want to shake or when you want to go with something? And she said, oh, yeah, she had this big smile all over her face. She commits to what she wants to throw. And I can appreciate that part. I know coaches tend to call a lot of pitches, pitching coaches from the dugout. They have the little pretend eye watch where they look down at the signal, but there's been times where she does shake and goes with her gut, because at the end of the day, you got to live and die with that ball leaving your hand, and you want to be committed to it. And she has that, I would say, a good kind of open relationship with the coaches, in the sense where she will communicate, hey, I shook because this is what I felt I wanted to go with. It was still in the same location and area of where you wanted it, but this is why I shook. And I like that communication. It just makes everything that much better.
Amy Hayes, the pitching coach. There's a strike to Savipola running through it. Pola had a double off of Johnson in the first. One of the 2 hits today for UCLA. Now 3 balls and a strike. So the best hitter average-wise in the UCLA lineup, 439 on the season. Now has a hit in 6 of her last 7 games. Foul ball makes it a full count.
Well, in a money pitch, right? That's a 3-1 curveball in on her hands. That's a ball if she doesn't swing, but long strike, they call it. Now you work yourself back into a 3-2 count.
Just off the glove of Johnson. No chance for Jazzy Santos to make a play. A runner is on with a dangerous hitter coming up, Jordan Woolry. Let's get inside her head as she
for me,
steps up to the plate.
When I'm hitting is I have like a soft focus on my focal point that's usually behind the pitcher, and just kind of the same as Meg, just focus on my breath and like just repeatedly tell myself like, I got this, keeping it as simple and as easy as possible.
I love that insight.
When I like the soft focus, being able to have that focal point, I think is so key with pitchers. You have it with position players, and to be able to step in the box knowing like I have to keep it together, I have to be composed, and being able to kind of put your energy towards something.
Back to the warning track. Aaron Mendoza, runner has to stay at first.
And I feel like Jordan Woolry has had 2 loud outs.
Yes. The first one was to right.
But you look at it, and if you're Johnson, you're like, yep, okay, right?
Take
like,
it.
You fake till you make it. I mean, she's barreling up some good pitches, and she's on it, but she's getting outs, and that's really what it's all about. It's being able to kind of tip your cap to knowing you got to hit her out, even though they may, or you may kind of feel something when it hits the barrel.
First pitch strike coming in to Megan Grant. I pulled up an interesting stat on her when it comes to first pitch strikes.
I did 90% of the time Megan Grant takes first pitch. And I'm wondering if she didn't know that or she was angry that I brought it up, but I wanted to know because I had a teammate, Jen Sowling, who did the same thing. And I used to throw just heaters down the middle in scrimmages right out of the gate because I knew. But her biggest response was like, my mind's like a computer. Like I'm getting intel on that pitch and the feel.
Reached for that one, foul. I mean, it is.
It's interesting.
It is. She does have 23 home runs to lead the team and 73 RBI, so.
No, I look at it from the pitcher's perspective instead of like the hitter. Like I always want to be ahead of you in order to be able to work and spread the zone and go with pitches. And I guess I can put myself in the hitter's category because I hit a little bit. I didn't always want to come from behind. I was definitely a swing a little bit earlier because I know pitchers want to try to attack the zone.
Megan Grant sprint
up. Yeah. I need you to be a little better. It's not as cold as you think it is.
This is Alicia Costa, and it's scooped by Megan Grant. How do you describe our teammate, like you and me, who's like got to toughen up on road trips and who's solid?
I feel like you're really rock solid.
Yeah.
I mean, you traveled here almost 9 months pregnant, back-to-back weekends for regional.
That was last year.
And I know that I complain, but I always keep it just real with you. That doesn't go out to the world.
Until now.
And it's never complaining about softball. It's just my phone gets blown up, and I have a tough time with it.
Alexa Sams stepping in now. Did you see how tall I was today? Wow. Up in this chair?
Yeah.
Feels good.
Didn't get my good angle there. Let me know I can stand up for the next one.
Alexa Sams, her teammates, told us how much she means to this program, one of their vocal leaders, and they said she really sets the tone for the game. Left fielder for them. That looked good, but Riley Slimp there to scoop it. 2 down.
Well, that's an 0-2 pitch, and talking with Coach Kelly and Perez prior to this, weekend kicking off, there was actually a game where she pulled Taylor Tinsley out during the Big Ten, and she was like, "Why are you taking me out? I feel like I'm throwing good." And Coach Kelly and Perez said, "Hey, you're missing in spots that you shouldn't, and when it matters, that's going to impact us, right?" And I just think making sure we're still smart when it comes to counts. But getting pulled as a pitcher when you think you're throwing well are humbling moments. And then she actually went back next time she threw and threw a no-hitter, Coach Kelly and Perez said. But it's just kind of learning those moments, things you can get away with.
That one just past Tinsley and a diving Savannah Pola. Bella Fuentes on for the second time. She reached on an error in the second and now a single.
It must be all that BP that she's getting from her mom. 0-1 pitch, it's just up and in, takes it right back up the middle.
I love talking with Bella yesterday. Just so thoughtful. You can tell she's a leader for this group too.
When talked about when Coach Joe Evans got the job and how she was able to gain that trust. She was one of the first phone calls from Coach Joe Evans to just connect and introduce herself, and got on campus, and they just instantly were drawn to Coach Evans. And
yeah, and Dima I, who's at the plate right now, remember she's a freshman coming in, so talking to Joe Evans, she said she felt like she cared more about her as a person than the softball player part of it, and that was something that was really important to her.
Dima I was probably one of my favorite to interview because she came in and she just had this energy and happiness about herself and this smile that like radiated through the group, and it kind of makes you realize when you get to do those interviews and connect with the players like how special it is to get to know them, especially for these athletes that for the first time they're getting to experience this.
3 balls and a strike to my eye from Tinsley. And the free pass issued for the first time, the first walk of the day. issued by Taylor Tinsley.
I'm also going to bring up Coach Kelly Inouye-Perez says kind of that first game sometimes feels like the hardest game of a regional, of a super, your first game of the Women's College World Series. The pressure that is put on, even though you may not feel it, it's there, right? They're hosting yet again another regional. You're the starting pitcher in this game, at times feeling like you need to be perfect. There's so many different things that come into play with that. And you see the mental performance coach behind Mondo. I know he's been really big with them on just kind of that one pitch at a time and really helping some of these athletes.
Ainsley Waddell